You've been very successful, and you are very successful, but you remain very grounded. Do you think that's a lot of that is to do with your early days and your sort of memories of growing up?
I think so. I mean, two things. I think so, yes. It is to do with my background, no doubt, to do with my past, to do with my father and the way I was brought up, no doubt about that. But the other thing is, I believe, and I've seen a lot of people in my business like this, I think you only change if you want to. Mm-hmm. There's nothing in the rule book of acting says you need to become a wanker. You know what I mean? It's not about that at all. And also, Glasgow's not the type of town, and that's another one of the reasons why I come back and live here. Glasgow's not the type of town that's going to let you become like that.
They'll bring you back down.
They'll bring you back down, you know what I mean? And there's arguments for and against that, you know what I mean? But I pretty much am for that kind of thing. I like that. I like the fact that you are kind of brought back down to kind of understanding that you're no any better than anybody else. You know what I mean? And I'm no any better than anybody else. I never have been, and never will be, whether I'm an actor or not. So I guess it's a bit of both for sure. I think it's the city itself which is grounded me and made me the person I am. But it's also to do with my father, and it's more of a belief in myself. The more confident I got in myself, the less I felt I had to be somebody else. You know what I mean?
And that's largely what With Kids is all about, is actually giving kids confidence to go out there and be themselves.
That's right.
And you've already touched on how your early upbringing shapes the rest of your life and the way your father shaped the rest of your life. Do you think With Kids is a sort of invaluable organisation for, especially in the East End, where 75% of the families are single-parent families?
Absolutely. It's so crucial. It's so important, man. These kids need help. You need a bit of support. You need a leg up. You just need it. You know, we all need it. We all need it in our life. You know what I mean? No matter what social circumstance we come from, particularly there. And again, I've always kept in touch. I can talk about these things, obviously from afar. But I can also talk about it from, the ground level with this as well, because a lot of the movies I've made, a lot of the films I've made deal with, not necessarily subject of children, but they certainly deal with people that are in the arse end of the social ladder. And therefore, shooting and filming in places like that. I shot a movie called Summer a few years ago, and that was in a place called Bolsover in Sheffield, which was, the kind of where the epicentre of the miners' strike in the 80s was, and that place has been left decimated since then. So, I mean, filming in an area like that and in the houses there and talking to these kids in the street there, man, anything at all with kids, and they don't have anything like that either down there. I mean, anything like that is going to be valuable for them, because they follow the film crew about for 6 weeks looking for something to do. So we end up saying, okay, well, you carry this, you carry that, give them this, give them that. Some of these wee boys are, and they want to work, they want to be productive.
They want to be involved.
Absolutely, they want to be involved. They don't want to be sitting back just watching. No way, they want to be involved and take part. So anything like With Kids that gives children an opportunity to take part in life and to gain confidence in life. Fantastic.
So which one of your film roles do you think most reflects your own life or your own early upbringing?
It's quite interesting, that. A lot of the time, there's probably a third of the movies that I've made that are... If I was a painter, if I was an artist with paint, then these would be a kind of guest self-portraits. Right. But when you look at an artist's series of self-portraits, they kind of change slightly. And that's roughly what I've been trying to do, I suppose, through my career. So the third that we're talking about is obviously the ones that are kind of dealing with the kind of lower social end. It's difficult to pick out any one in particular, but the film I've just mentioned there, which was Summer, I think that character of Sean there is very much where I could have been had I not been an actor. I don't think I'd have went down, any kind of criminal road or anything stupid like that. I think I'd have been one of these kind of ones who just festered and just
fizzled out.
You know what I mean? And that was the problem with Sean said in Summer. that he was still living in the past, way back to his teenage years when he fell in love for the first time. So that movie of All and that character of All, I think, is extremely relevant to me, and I think very relevant to with kids as well. That whole film, I think, in fact, is very relevant to this organisation.
Good. You've obviously been extremely successful. What bit of advice would you give to kids to inspire them who have ambition, kids in Glasgow, who want to not necessarily be a superstar, but just they want to achieve their ambition?
I think the first thing, the first thing about that is, that there's nothing to say you're not going to be a superstar, right? But if you set out with that as being your objective, then you're probably not going to get there. I think the first thing you have to think about that, and especially in these days of X Factor and Pop Idol and all this quick fix kind of fame, you've got to kind of understand that you've got to have something in there anyway. You've got to have some kind of talent in there, and it's got to be nurtured and bred through time. So therefore, I think if you're interested, whether you're interested in being an actor, being a football player, or being a plumber, or being a brickie, or whatever it is, the most important thing I think you've got to have in your head is you've got to set out to be the best you can be at any one of those things. The absolute best you can be. If you're going to be a bricklayer, then go for it and go and try and find a place, try and find an institution, try and find people who'll say, well, this is what you need to do in order to build a wall. You know what I mean? Don't just sit back. That's the main thing. Do not sit back and think, well, it's going to come to you.
Don't wait for it to come.
Don't wait for it to happen, because it's not going to happen. You've got to go out and make it happen. And I'm a great believer in creating your own luck. I think the more that you want something, the more you do to try and provide that for yourself, then eventually something's going to land. But it isn't going to land by you sitting in your arse. That's not going to happen. You've got to get up, you've got to try and make it happen. And if you get a wee certain organisation like With Kids or whatever it is, if things that are there to help you, go there, talk to people who know, and let them give you that wee lift up. But the most important thing is to have some kind of, I think ambition is so important, so important. And it's a crime, an absolute crime in certain areas. You can see that ambition's been stifled in people, it's been crushed. You know what I mean? And that is complete rubbish. Keep your ambition, keep your dreams, your dreams are very important. Your dreams are really, they might only be important to you, but it doesn't matter. It's very, very important, and keep that journey going. Don't drop the ball. See the amount of actors I've met in my life, and I'm talking literally scores and scores of people who talk like this, who say they've sat there and they've wanted it so much, they've wanted it so much that it's happened in the end. And each story is identical in the respect that they went out to make that happen. So you
they didn't wait for it.
They believed it. They believed in yourself. And that's what I was saying earlier on, that the more you do that, the more confidence you get, the more confidence you got in yourself, the more confidence you've got to go out and live in the world, prove yourself in the world.